Mr. Morris, I check it out from there, sir.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to wonderful people of Biafra. My name is Ike Morisa, and I'm talking to you from the platform of ALADINMMA Global. You are welcome to tonight's program. This night promises to be one of the greatest nights that you are going to enjoy in ALADINMMA programs, and we are promising you a swell time tonight. And tonight, why we're saying that we're going to have a swell time is because we are having an august visitor, a guest of a special nature, a guest that most of us has been looking at for and been asking questions, where is he? Tonight, ALADINMMA Global is bringing you that special guest. And that guest is no other than the president of the Biafra government in exile, the chairman of ALADINMMA Global. We are bringing to you tonight the person of Mazi Tony NWISI. He is going to be our guest tonight. But in tonight's program, I'm not going to be alone. I'm not the only one going to be talking to you. I have with me my brother who is going to be the co-host of tonight's program, Mazi Martins Amuzie. Martins Amuzie is one of the chief organizers and brain behind ALADINMMA Global. He's with me tonight to rattle the president of Biafra government in exile, Mazi Tony NWISI. And tonight, both of us are going to do this program to the satisfaction of all our members. And we are promising you it's going to be one of the best programs you have ever watched on ALADINMMA platform. And tonight's program is being streamed live as we speak. This program is being streamed live on many channels. We are streaming on Omada Biafra YouTube channel. We are also streaming on Omada Biafra Facebook channel. We are also streaming at Omada Biafra Twitter, and so many other platforms that we are going to outline as you continue to listen to us. But at this juncture, I'm going to allow my brother, the co-host of tonight's program, to introduce himself and say hi to wonderful people of ALADINMMA. I'm giving the floor now to Mazi Amuziem.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the globe. Wonderful people of ALADINMMA, wonderful people of Igbo land, I greet you all. As my chief host have just said, we are here live in ALADINMMA to look into those issues that are facing us, militating against us. We are looking into those issues that will be of great interest to Igbo and Biafra at large. We are looking at those issues that will bring succor to the people and that will bring comfort to our people down home and in the diaspora. A wonderful people, I want to say welcome to ALADINMMA conference. Tonight is a night of a special night. Tonight is a special night that we all will be glad that yes, we did participate in this conference. Thank you very much. Back to you, my chief host.
Thank you so much. You are wonderful. Wonderful people of ALADINMMA will be happy tonight to see your face once again because you radiate confidence. You radiate that our people want to see when they want to be sure that they are being led in the right track. And I also want to know that we are not going to be talking alone. We will invite to us. That is why we are providing some numbers on WhatsApp that you'll be calling when the time comes to ask Mr. President, the chairman of ALADINMMA Global, some questions at the right time. So if you have your pen or paper, you got to take down these phone numbers. Numbers you'll be reaching us with. The first number you're going to take down now is +6011 2825 1794. I said the number again. +6011 2825 1794. The second is +4479 8038. I say that again. 791 8439 038. The third number you're going to take down is +4473 752 81. I take that again. +4473 7525 85.
Yeah, wonderful people of ALADINMMA. I think we're facing a little technical hit, but that's notwithstanding. What the chief host is trying to say is that you can reach us in any of these numbers as mentioned for your questions, your contributions, and any encouragement you want to give at this point in time. So without wasting much time, we would like to start with an opening prayer while we wait for Mr. Ike to be back. As a I'll remove my cap while we pray to Chukwu Okike Abiama. Onye nwanyị na Chineke anyị, eze ndị eze, ike, our King and our Lord. Father, we thank you for this moment. We thank you for your glorious touch in our lives. We thank you for our people. We thank you for Igbo. We thank you for your great works in our lives. Father, Lord, we thank you for making us a unique people in the land of the living. We glorify your name. Father, we commit this program unto your worthy hand tonight. As we speak, as we moderate, as we talk to our people, Father, let there be open mind, O Lord, to receive that which we are saying tonight. King of glory, lead us as we present ourselves indeed to you in humble adoration of your holy name, that all we are going to do tonight will be to your glory. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, like we all know, we have in our midst tonight a special guest, as said by Mr. Ike Warisa, Mazi Honorable Tony NWISI. He is the convener and the chairman of ALADINMMA Global, a position he has held for a long time and he still holds till this moment. He is the brain behind ALADINMMA and has carried out this platform to a greater height. Since this year, we've handled so many issues, starting from Ebe Kandi Boneje to so many other topics of interest that have been of great benefit to Ndibo and to the world at large. And indeed, Africans are proud of ALADINMMA, and Africans are proud of this young man, Mazi Tony Wisi. Today, by mandate of the people, on the election that was held in the month of July this year, he is, as voted in, the president of the Republic of Biafran government in exile, Rbgie, a position he's holding and working assiduously to see to the realization and actualization of the Biafran liberation, a position that he has spiced up to bring to an international recognition. And we are glad today that in that mandate given by the people, he is working hard, and today he is addressing ALADINMMA. Mazi Tony Wisi, you are welcome to ALADINMMA. Mazi, please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, please.
Thank you very much, my brother Ndewo. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
As we are waiting for Mr. Wadisa to connect back, I will thank you, Mazi Wadisa. You are back. You are welcome back.
Very sorry, it's technical hitch. I was speaking and the device just switched itself off. I was very surprised. I don't know what happened, so I had to log myself back in. Thank you so much for hanging out there. I mean, handling the show on the stage. You have just finished introducing the chief, our guest tonight. And I'm glad about that. And the chairman of ALADINMMA Global. Please take the floor, sir.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Ike and Martin, my brothers. I appreciate you very much. I hope everyone is doing well. In spite of all the challenges at home, all the problems that you have. In the midst of everything we're going through, God is blessing. God is taking us to places. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight. Tony NWISI is my name. ALADINMMA, first off, it's a pleasure to have this session with our people, reconnect with you, and share with you what we're doing in ALADINMMA, and also the additional responsibilities I've taken. I'm grateful to my brothers for their leadership, Mazi Morris and Martin Amuze, for holding the fort, taking care of the day-to-day run of ALADINMMA, while I take on more responsibility. But be assured that I'm still very much working with them. I'm still very much working with you, ALADINMMA, as chairman. So we're still working together, except that the day-to-day business of ALADINMMA is now handled by Mazi Morris, with support of Martin Amuze, my two brothers. The purpose of ALADINMMA remains the same: is conversation, bringing everybody to ALADINMMA Ankata for the peace and unity of Alibo. Still the vision and the purpose of ALADINMMA. So as we continue today and subsequent broadcasts, you're going to have several eminent personalities coming to ALADINMMA to have a conversation with you and to have their ideas interrogated by able brothers Mazi Martin Amozie and Ike Morisa. And of course, all this is going to be streamed live on multiple platforms. ALADINMMA is scaling up now to higher responsibility and higher activities and bigger audience. So we've gone from Zoom, where we had like 20, 30, 50 people, to StreamYard, where we now have we're going to have access to up to 50,000 to 100,000 people. So we're scaling up massively. And also the partnership with Umuada Biafra Worldwide, as well as the Republic of Biafra Government in Exile, which is your government. And so before I even go further, I want to express my profound gratitude to Umuada Biafra Worldwide for partnering with ALADINMMA and partnering with my brothers for the work we're doing. We celebrate Umuada Biafra Worldwide. We celebrate your leaders, Wada Ndidamaka Egemonu and Wada Rosemary Williams. Phenomenal women, phenomenal leaders. I've come to know in the last 6 months. I've been working with them. Phenomenal ladies. So any Wafi, any of our daughters born Nali Igbo, you need to join Umuada Biafra Worldwide. You need to join them. These women are serious. They are phenomenal leaders. They bring tremendous leadership to the work that we're doing. So please follow them. Go to their website and their Twitter handles, and you can message them, Umuada Biafra Worldwide. And their president is Wada Ndidamaka Egemonu, and the able vice president, Amazon herself, Wada Rosemary Williams. Phenomenal ladies, so join them. So we're grateful for their leadership and the partnership ALADINMMA is developing with them and their support of the government in exile. So having said that, so the election August 3rd election taking place, and the new responsibility. So I will give you a brief update on that responsibility, as I've talked briefly about ALADINMMA and Umuada. And then I have prepared an official press statement, which I intend to read in the course of this program, in the course of my remarks, before we go to Q&A, addressing the issues at home, the killings at home in particular. And this official statement from the Republic of Biafra government in exile is addressing our governors directly. So I'm going to be sharing that. I'm going to read that, and then we're going to publish that on our social media handles, on our blog, biafraglobalmedia.com, and also on our website, which is republicofbiafra-gov.org. It's an official statement with a stamp and my signature on it, on our position concerning the program going on at home. So it's awesome being here. Following the election in August 3rd, part of the mandate I was given, part of the responsibility I was given was I had to relocate to Washington, D.C. And so naturally, living in England, it was difficult, it was challenging, but we've done that. We've managed to do that. I'm currently speaking to you from Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, United States of America. So, and then following that, I had to construct a cabinet that would do the work of the people that elected me to do. So we've constructed a cabinet. You have about 7 cabinet members. I have Nemo Abacha, who's my Secretary of State. I have Mazu Chembakwe, who is a chairman of the Council of Elders. We have also Venerable Emeka Nwigwe, who is a resident chaplain, and also chairman of Biafra Veterans Network. And then I have Wanda Rosemary, who's in charge of our economic committee, and Wanda Ndidamaka, who's in charge of our social media, as well as Biafra Global Network, as well as the administration of the government. So a lot of hands working, trying to make the case for our people. And part of our responsibility, part of what we have done is engage with all the groups in the Biafra space, as well as try to engage with the government of the United States, engage with other foreign governments to make the case for Biafra. And so you will see a lot of that. We've also reached out to the different leadership of the Midwest and leadership of the Yoruba nation, to partner and collaborate, because we're all in the same boat. But the most exciting thing that we have coming up, which you get to see very shortly, is Biafra Genocide Summit. We're having Biafra Genocide Summit December 17, live here on StreamYard, which will be addressing the issue of the pogrom going on at home, the killings of our people, the injustice, the murder of our people, the terrorist government of Buhari. We're going to be addressing it, calling the attention of CNN, calling the attention of MSNBC, BBC, and calling the attention of President Biden and the rest of the global media, the rest of world leaders. President Putin, we're writing to him as well, calling the attention to the program going on at home. So tune into that and look out for that. That's Biafra Genocide Summit. We're calling it what it is. What is going on at home is a genocide, is evil, it's against the law, it's totally immoral, and it can only come from the imagination of an evil government, an evil leadership, an evil president, President Buhari. The killings, the slaughter, the breakdown of law and order, especially in the Southeast, it can only come from the imagination of an evil man, President Buhari. That's number one. Number two, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent man. He's done nothing wrong. He's just expressed himself through free speech, which is his fundamental human right. And in spite of all of that, this terrorist government, this evil government, participated in cahoots with Kenyan government, we will remember them, and other foreign governments to kidnap and rendition Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and deprive him of his human rights and deprive him of his liberty for over 1 year. Now, that is bad enough. That is bad enough, okay? That is bad enough. He went through the court process, appointed lawyers, and on October 13, the High Court in Abuja, right, discharged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of all charges. Nothing, no charges whatsoever. No crime committed, discharged, acquitted. But again, this evil government of President Buhari, what does he do? He refuses to let the man go. And the man continues to suffer, and the people of Biafra continue to suffer. Okay? So this is why we call him an evil government and an evil president and a terrorist president. Buhari is a terrorist president, and the whole world needs to be aware of this. He's using the Nigerian army, the Nigerian Air Force, the Nigerian Security Service to attack innocent citizens. Okay? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent man. He has not committed any crime anywhere in the world. He's an innocent man. He's exercising his fundamental human right for freedom and liberty and free speech and the safety of his people. He's made the case loudly, absolutely, that's his right. America here, they call it his First Amendment right. It is his First Amendment right, and the duty of government is to protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's rights, my rights and your rights. But this terrorist government of General Buhari knows nothing about the law, knows nothing about civility, knows nothing about the rule of law. They don't obey court order. They don't follow civil procedure. They don't follow the conventions well established in the United Nations and around the world. They kidnapped, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped by President Buhari. He was kidnapped in partnership with the Kenyan government. The Kenyan government and Biafra and President Buhari ganged up with other foreign governments to kidnap and rendition Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, an innocent man who has committed no crime. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't blow anybody up like the IRA did, okay, in England. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't hurt anybody. He hasn't hurt a fly, okay? He's an innocent man whose rights have been deprived. And this is the message for the rest of Nigerians. The message to the rest of Nigerians is this, okay? For the Yoruba, for the Edo, for the Hausa, okay? Today, it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Tomorrow, it could be you, okay? And that is why Nigerians with one voice should rise up against this terrorist government, okay? Because injustice to one is injustice to all. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not committed any offense. He has not committed any crime. And even if the man has committed a crime, what is the duty of a responsible government? Its duty is to use the police, arrest the man, okay, read him his rights, and bring him before a judge of his peers, an independent judge, an independent judiciary. That's the civil procedure. That is the proper procedure. But this terrorist government of General Buhari, okay, has used the apparatus of government to assault, murder, maim, kidnap, and commit every form of crime that has been committed by any other terrorist government, any other terrorist organization, like Al-Qaeda and any other terrorist organization. The government of General Buhari kidnapped, assaulted, maimed, okay, slaughtered. And the world needs to pay attention to this. First of all, Nigerians need to pay attention. And there's a pattern of things. Operation Python dance is a crime. Operation Python dance is a crime against the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his family, the Igbo people, the Biafran people, the people of Nigeria, and is a crime against Africa, is a crime against humanity. Nigerians kept quiet when General Buhari used the Nigerian army. It is nonsensical. It is absolutely nonsensical. Okay? The army, the air force, the military is meant to protect the integrity of the Nigerian borders, protect the citizens, protect our people, fight wars, deter aggression. That's their job. The job of the police is to maintain civil order. But this terrorist government of President Buhari has used Nigerian military, used the army, used the air force to attack innocent citizens. First of all, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Operation Python dance. And then secondly, our market in Olu has used air force to attack our markets in Olu, attack our people. He used the Nigerian army to attack Sunday Igboho in his home at 2 o'clock in the morning. And this is why Nigerians need to pay attention and begin to take back their country. General Buhari was emboldened to assault Sunday Igboho in his home at 2 o'clock in the morning with the Nigerian army. Because when he did it to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, first of all, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo should hang their face in shame. Ohaneze Ndi Igbo should hang their face in shame. The leadership of Ohaneze should hang their face in shame. President Obiozo, the leader of Ohaneze, should hang his face in shame. He should resign. Okay? First of all. Number two, all Igbo governors kept quiet. They should hang their face in shame. Okay? They need to hang their face in shame. All Igbo senators, they should just resign. All of them should resign. And when Biafra comes, all of them had better go on exile. You better go on exile because Ali Igbo will not contain all of us. All this crime you people are committing, facilitating terrorism against your own people, facilitating terrorism against your own brothers and sisters, against our mothers. All Igbo governors just go on exile because Biafra is coming. And when Biafra comes, there will be a reckoning. You will be arrested. You will be brought before a judge of your peers. You will have justice. We will meet justice to you. Ohaneze and Igbo were there where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, an innocent man, was assaulted in his home with Nigerian army. Ohaneze and Igbo did not protest. Professor Obiozo did not protest, right? Nwodo did not protest, okay? The leadership, the Council of Elders, I don't know what the heck they're doing. The governors kept quiet, right? Because all of them are in the pockets of the Fulani people. All of them have collected money from the Fulani people. All of them are going to Fulani land to go and pay homage to President Buhari and co. Because they want power, they want office, they want money. But these guys are just being short-sighted and stupid. Absolutely stupid. How would you allow a foreigner to come into your own home and assault your own brother? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu I've never met the man. We've never spoken one-to-one. But because of that, he's my brother. He's my brother. Biafra blood flows through all of us. We went through the Biafra war. We suffered together. We bled together. We lost 3.5 million people in that war. There is no family in Ali, in Biafra land, that wasn't affected. My father went to war. My father fought in that war as a soldier for the Biafran army. My father was an engineer. He fought in that war, and he nearly died in that war. My uncle fought in that war, and he also nearly died in the war. My elder brother died during that war as a consequence of that war. He wasn't old enough to fight in the war, but he died as a result of the trauma of that war. But he's not the only one that went through trauma. Every single family in Alibo went through that trauma. We suffer from Kwashoko because of that war. We experienced genocide. Alibo experienced genocide. 3.5 million people wiped out with the aid of Britain, with the aid of foreign powers, with the aid of the world. Nobody to our rescue. So Nnamdi Kanu is my brother. There is a bond. There is a blood that flows through Ndi Igbo. That's why Nnamdi Kanu is my brother. I've never met him. I've never spoken with him. I'm not a member of IPOB. But because of Onye Igbo, he's my brother. My blood and his blood are the same. An injustice to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is injustice to me. Is injustice to every other Igbo man or woman. Is injustice to the 3.5 million people that died in vain. Is injustice to our leader, our eternal leader, General Ojukwu. And so we need to pay attention. The Nigerians need to pay attention, and the world community needs to pay attention, because General Buhari was emboldened to assault Sunday Igboho in Yoruba land, because when he assaulted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in his home, the Yorubas did not say a word. The Midwest did not say a word, because Awonyi Igbo, Ondi Igbo. But you forget we're in the same space. An injustice to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is injustice to Igboho, is injustice to me, is injustice to you, is injustice to everybody. It's our fundamental human rights taken away from us. And General Buhari must be held accountable for crime against humanity. He must be held accountable, whether he's in office or out of office. His time in office will come to an end. He must be held accountable. And I encourage Nigerians to rise up and hold General Buhari accountable for the crime of terrorism against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, against Sunday Igboho, against the people of Nigeria. Terrorism is terrorism. Whether it's Obi or Obiora, whether it's Obi or Chike or Mwazu or Wale, it doesn't matter. You use the Nigerian army and air force to attack citizens in their home. That is a crime. That is terrorism. And it should be called exactly what it is. And I challenge Bola Tinubu and Peter Obi and Atiku, who claim to be running for president. I challenge them to come on television, come on radio, and publicly denounce and condemn President Buhari for the acts of terrorism against the people of Nigeria. I challenge them to do that. And that's why we don't believe in this one Nigeria bullshit. No, we don't believe in this one Nigeria BS. It's a lot of BS. We're not one Nigeria. We're not one people. We're different nations with different values. The Igbos and the Yorubas have common values. The Igbos and the Midwest and the Yorubas have common values. Our values are totally different from that of the Northerners. And we shouldn't be one country at all. We're different nations in one geographical space. And I think it was Premier Awolowo who said clearly that Nigeria is simply a geographical expression. So we're different people. Terrorism, injustice against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is injustice to me, is injustice to you, and we must not allow it. Igbo governors must be held accountable. Okay? Ohaneze Ndigbo must be held accountable for their poor leadership. And that's what we need to do. And that's what we're going to do. Our work in the Republic of Biafra government in exile is diplomacy and advocacy. Our work is diplomacy and advocacy, engaging with foreign governments, engaging with foreign powers, lobbying them, making the case for Biafra. We want everybody to have their own nation. Let the Yorubas have their own nation and be happy. Let the Midwest people have their own nation and be happy. The Biafrans must have their own nation. It's our right. The Hausa people, the Arewa people, let them have their own nation. Even the Fulani have your own nation. Okay, we don't want to take anybody's land. We don't want to merge with anybody. We want to be on our own. You be on your own. What's wrong with that? You cannot have a forced marriage. And whether foreign powers like it or not, we're not going to have a forced marriage. We're not going to have a forced marriage. When you go to Europe, you have England, you have UK, 60 million people. You have France, you have Germany. They're all very small countries. Biafra alone is 80 million people. The Yoruba people is about 70, 80 million people. These are all viable nations in their own rights. And so our message to our people is very simple. Do not tolerate the injustice. Do not tolerate the evil BS of President Buhari. Do not tolerate it. Resist, 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 and resist. Never, ever give up. Never, ever quit. Never, ever allow it. And ignore the Igbo governors and all their nonsense. They are all agents of Fulani. They are all in Fulani pockets. They don't speak for you. They are not representing you. They are not protecting you. They are not protecting our mothers and our sons and our daughters. The Igbo governors are doing nothing for us. Ignore them. And I'll just finish by reading to you prepared remarks. And then I'll go back to the studio. This is a prepared remark from the Republic of Biafra. This official statement I'm going to read verbatim from the Republic of Biafra Government in Exile, based in Washington, D.C., 1717 Pennsylvania Avenue, Northwest, 2006, Washington, D.C., next door to the White House. This is to the governors of the Southeast and South-South. To the governors of the Southeast and South-South, by the Republic of Biafra, Government in Exile, my name is Tony NWISI. I'm the author and the presenter of this message on behalf of the Republic of Biafra Government in Exile. In the face of the continuing, ongoing, and now routine massacre and pogrom of our people and brethren under your watch, as the chief security officer of your state, by the Fulani, Neanderthal, terrorists, and the unschooled Janjaweed Nigerian military, against citizens and unarmed civilian populations who elected you and whom you swore an oath to protect, you are hereby put on notice, serving notice to you, governors. Okay? My name is Tony NWISI. You're hereby put on notice that we hold you responsible for the continued decimation and genocide of our people under your watch. We deplore the degrading massacre, murder, slaughter, dehumanizing of our indigenous brethren and the objectionable manner of the routine violation of their human dignity and rights by the predator Nigerian state. We deplore that. We deplore the continual refusal of the Fulani-dominated terrorist complicit government to grant respite to the indigenous population to secure justice, fairness, and equity for all. We decry the enduring persistence of the federal government in deploying all aspects of the coercive instruments of states to forcibly subjugate our indigenous native populations, plunder, annex their lands, rape their women, slaughter their youth, steal their God-given mineral resources, and promote continual Fulani domination in complicity with terrorists and Sahelian primates at all levels of government. We strongly object to the widespread use of Fulani-dominated military to wantonly maim and kill unarmed, innocent citizens and overwhelmingly the civilian populace with a view to suppressing their will to determine their own future. We observe with extreme dismay the open disdain and complicit connivance of security agents of the Fulani-dominated government of Nigeria in your states with wild, armed Fulani primates to perpetrate horrific and horrendous murders of our peoples in wanton disregard of their human life, and the desecration of our sacred sites, churches, traditions, and cultural places under your watch. Therefore, do take note this day that we will not forget. We will not forget. Just like the Jews, the Israelis did not forget all of those who ganged up with Hitler to annihilate the Jews, 6 million Jews in Germany. The Mossad did not forget. We will not forget. Surround yourself with hordes of security agents to protect you. Deny the people whom you govern access to you as you sit in high office and walk the corridors and citadels of power amidst our poverty and pain. Deny your ancestry and forebears. You are Igbo today. You are not Igbo tomorrow. We will cast you out. It does not matter. We know who your grandparents are and whence they came from in time. We will not forget. we will never forget. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. President and Chairman of ALADINMMA Global. We are so happy to be with you tonight, and we have listened to you. You have expressed yourself so explicitly to Biafrans regarding what is going on in Biafra land, especially the ill treatment being meted to our brother Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by the Nigerian terrorist government. We thank you immensely. We thank you so much for awakening the spirit of ALADINMMA once more. And at this point in time, I would like to remind our viewers that we are streaming live. We are streaming live on Umuada Biafra YouTube channel. We are also streaming live on Umuada Biafra Facebook page. We are also streaming live at Umuada Biafra Twitter handle also. And we have numbers that you might want to call and want to reach us and want to ask questions to the chairman of ALADINMMA Global. These numbers I want to repeat are as follows. 3 numbers you can call on WhatsApp. +6011 2825 1794. +6011 2825 1794. +44791 8439 038. +44791 843 9038. The next and the final number is +4473 7525 6851. +4473 7525 6851. All WhatsApp numbers. And you can call us if you have a question for our guest tonight. I may return to you, Mazi Muzie, if you have something to say about what Mr. President and the chairman of ALADINMMA Global have just said now.
Mr.
You
President,
okay.
I've really woken up the lion in us once again. Very emotionally laden speech, confrontational and aggressive to the core, and this is what we are talking about. However, he spoke specifically as the president of the Republic of Biafra government in exile, and all his points, all he has just said, are some of those issues that we face on daily basis, which the governors and the politicians are not taking any step to address issues like this. There have been a kind of suppression to the people of Alibo in particular and the Biafrans in general. So I must tell you, as Mr. President was talking, I was feeling the other side of me was really turning up. Having been born in the military background, I saw the military blood in me rising up once again, but I had to hold back considering what we are here to achieve. So our questions will be coming, and Mr. President, I will be asking you questions based on your position as the chairman and convener of ALADINMMA Global. Mr. Ike, if I am permitted, I should go ahead, or you have something to say before going to the questions proper.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much. Mazi, you set the ball rolling, and we followed up. You are the convener and chairman of ALADINMMA Global. What are those issues that triggered your desire for the creation of ALADINMMA?
Oh, thank you very much. I'm very upset, really, really, really upset. It pains me to my core. Every day when you see pictures and videos of our sons and daughters being slaughtered needlessly, waste of human life. There was another one that we saw 2 days ago. An idiot Fulani man captured this guy, and he's using a hammer to break his head. A hammer. You know, these people, they're not like us. We have different values. We have no business with them. We have no business with the Fulani people. They need to go live their lives and leave us alone. You know what I mean? Leave us alone. Go mind your business. And any foreign country like Britain that supports the Fulani idea and agenda, they should invite the Fulani to move to London. And so let the Fulani become a fifth nation in the United Kingdom, because they are the country that are supporting this Fulani agenda in Nigeria. Just leave us alone and get the heck out of our homes and out of our land. We don't know where you come from. We don't know who you are. You're not. We have different values. Igbo values are the sanctity of life. We believe in equality of the sexes. We believe in respect for our elders. We believe in education for all, education for our daughters. These are Igbo values. Ezioku Bundo. These are Igbo values. But these folks, their values about lies and cheating and deceit. It's designed to deceive, to accomplish a goal. So I can't stand their nonsense. Answering your question, it is because of this nonsense by these idiotic fellows who have no business in our Igbo and their connivance with our traitor brothers, their Alibo is in chaos. And that chaos now means that progress is impossible. What provoked ALADINMMA, the idea of ALADINMMA, is an effort for us to make meaning of the mess. I was busy minding my business in London, doing my property business, enjoying my life, managing my family, when I began to hear Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's broadcasts. God bless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Okwu Kanu, God bless him. No matter what happens, he has written his name in gold in Biafra land among the Igbo people. He's not perfect. A lot of mistakes made along the way. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one that woke all of us up from our slumber to the BS going on at home. It was his broadcast. And I'll say this to some of our brothers who do not necessarily agree with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You don't wash your dirty linen outside. We have the people of some groups, because they don't agree with him, they go outside talking trash, trying to run the man down. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent man. He's an innocent man. He's so innocent, his name should be Mazi Innocent Okwu Kanu. He's an innocent man. He's done nothing wrong. He's exercised his fundamental human right to argue, make the case for the Igbo people in his own way, bring his own eloquence, his own passion to the conversation, to the dialogue. That's all he's done. He's an innocent man. So whether you like him or not, let it be home business. We discuss it in-house. Don't go outside and be running Mazi Nnamdi Kanu down. That is immaturity. That is baby stuff. That demonstrates your ignorance. He's our brother first and foremost. Onwafibo, first and foremost. We have the same blood, first and foremost. He lost people during the civil war, like you did. His people suffered like your people suffered. So what are you talking about? So what provoked ALADINMMA is an effort to bring the different protagonists in Igbo space so that we can make sense of what is going on and we can come up with solutions to help our people for prosperity, for security, and for wealth creation. That essentially is what caused me to found ALADINMMA, and the structure of ALADINMMA, which is, bringing a guest to come and tell us his thoughts about ALADINMMA, and after that we'll have a conversation just like we are having a conversation today, a civil conversation. We're not calling each other name, we're not insulting. So that is what provoked ALADINMMA. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. President. And I believe that what provoked you to convene ALADINMMA is also what provoked many of us to join in that project. And today, I thank God for everything that ALADINMMA is still alive, despite some hitches that come from situation of things. ALADINMMA is still afloat. I have one question for you, and I want you to, as briefly as possible, to take care of that question. And that question is Biafra government in exile. The Republic of Biafra government in exile, a project of people that want the self-determination and the freedom of the Igbo man. You are the president of the Republic of Biafra government in exile. But from many quarters, some dissidents are making insinuations the Biafra government in exile is against the mission of Mazi Nnamdi. How do you explain this to these people? And what is the position of the Biafra government in exile with what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stand for in the rest of the city of Biafra? Thank you.
Yeah, anyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That's a good question. Anyone who's been listening to this broadcast would, any reasonable person listening to this broadcast so far probably will not ask that question. That question is already answered in the course of my presentation. But for the benefit of those who were not here at the beginning of my presentation, our people need to understand that the pursuit of Biafra is not a project for one man, and it's not a project for one organization. It is not a project for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's not a project for Tony NWISI. It's not a project for Ike Morisa or Martin Amuzie. It is a project for all of us and the 80 million Biafrans who desire, long for freedom for our people. First off. Secondly, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself, I heard him say in his broadcast, anybody who can get us Biafra should get us Biafra. It doesn't have to be me. I've heard him say that over and over again. Thirdly, there are different stages to a struggle. And what our people need to do is calm down, read up, educate yourself on the history of struggles. You look at South Africa, for instance, you look at Czechoslovakia, for instance, you look at the Republic of Ireland, for instance, even Scotland today is a struggle for independence. There are different people. There's a place for activism, and that's what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done eloquently. He's done activism, waking people up, stirring people up, and I give him credit for that. I already have in this broadcast. I love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I've never met him, but I love him as a brother. And like I said earlier on, he has written his name in gold in the history of Biafra. My government has also given him an award with a citation celebrating him as a Lion of Biafra #2. Lion of Biafra #2. Lion of Biafra 1 is our eternal father, General Jumegwu Ojukwu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, my government, gave him that award publicly, invited his lawyers, Barrister Jimako, to receive the award on his behalf. So that's the third. The fourth thing is there are different stages to nationhood. You have the activism stage, but eventually you have to go on to diplomacy. You cannot have a nation that is not recognized. Until you're recognized, you can't really call yourself a country. And to achieve that, you need diplomacy. So what IPOB has done very well has been the activism stage. And not just IPOB, there are others who have contributed. There's our brother Meke Siri, who was actually the original founder of IPOB, who registered the name, who coined the name, the indigenous people of Biafra. Most people do not know that. That was coined by Barrister Meke Siri. We have to give him credit for that. So he's the founder of the indigenous people of Biafra, Barrister Meke Siri. Before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to work with him and others, and before he now took over the leadership and took it to another level. You see, the thing is that people need to understand, you do your bit, and then another man does his own bit. And there should be no problem about that. Meke Siri came up with the name IPOB and registered it in England, invited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to join him and others. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took it to the world. Now, back up a little bit. There's a gentleman called Tony Nnadi of Lower Niger Congress. As far as I know, Tony Nnadi is the first one 20 years ago who began to talk about the Constitution. That this Constitution was not made by us. That this Constitution is a fraud. Tony Nnadi started that. And then began to shout and cry and all that, and then called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, spoke to him about it, enlightened him about it, and then other leaders. And of course, you had also another, I can't remember his name now, other people in the struggle. The struggle is made up of many people. So everybody does their bit. Republic of Biafra Government in Exile was formed as a result of a series of meetings with about 30 different organizations, including IPOB. IPOB was invited, and then we had an election, and it was that result of that election that Republic of Biafra Government in Exile was born. It came through an election. It came through a democratic process. So it is a government representing the people of Biafra through an elective process. We did not appoint ourselves. We did not set up ourselves and call ourselves Republic of Biafra Government. No, we were elected on August 3rd at a meeting, at a Zoom meeting with 30 other organizations to which you yourselves are witnesses of. There's a recording for it. And after the election, I was made to take an oath of office, put my hand on the Bible, and swear an oath of allegiance to the Biafran people. So there's a democratic process that led to the emergence of the Republic of Biafra government in exile. And after election and we in office, we continue to work with IPOB, AVID, American Veterans of Igbo Descent, Igbo, all Igbo organizations were open to work with everybody, because we're a government. We're not an organization or an association. We're a government. So we work with everybody towards the action of Biafra. For instance, like I said earlier on December 17, we have Biafra Genocide Summit. For that Genocide Summit, we have members from Igbo coming to speak there. We have members from AVID coming to speak there. We have members of my cabinet coming to speak. And it's going to be a monthly summit. Every month, we're going to have a Biafra Genocide Summit, calling the attention of the world to the genocide taking place in Biafra land. And so we love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We think he's a great leader. He's done fantastic work. But there are parts of the work that has not been done yet. The diplomacy aspect of it, the advocacy side of it. And that's what we're doing while we're cooperating and supporting IPOB and other Igbo organizations. So that's what we're doing. We're engaging with the UN and the US government and other foreign governments.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you very much, our chairman. There's something you really touched on tonight that is of great importance. You know, in Igbo, in Igbo, ALADINMMA, we are particular about peace in our labor. And peace cannot go without truth. People got to know the truth and reality of some of these things, because people are being misled with a lot of lies, with a lot of ideologies that they don't know where to follow. I'm glad you mentioned the issue of Emeka Emekesri founding the IPOB. I'm glad you mentioned about Tony Nnadi, who have been carrying out the crusade on the constitution for many years. And I'm glad you mentioned the role and how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took it up. And now we are talking of the Biafran government in exile, which is also working in tandem with all these groups, both the IPOB, both with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the rest. This is the thing we are talking about in our Igbo. You know, until we realize and understand that, listen, Igbo is one, and all we are doing is to get a safe landing for our people, protect our land, protect our people, the better for us. Now, I want to touch on one of the things you mentioned before, and from my own knowledge, the negligence on Igbo lives and the menace of the Fulani terrorists in Igbo land necessitated your creation of ALADINMMA, okay, to call Igbo and for them to rise and defend Igbo and unite among one another. This is very important. It now gets me to one question that I've been trying to talk about or ask, which you have mentioned a little bit, because some people see your ascension as the president of Biafran government in exile, looking at the switch over from ALADINMMA Global to the Republic of Biafran government in exile. Some people may think that you created ALADINMMA as a platform for elevation into the Biafran government. How do you feel, or how do you see this assertion or assumption?
I don't even know how to answer that question. It's so laughable, it's comical. Look, one thing leads to another. Everything has a time and a sequence. ALADINMMA did not come out of the air. For instance, before ALADINMMA, I created an organization called Igbo Project, for which many people in ALADINMMA probably don't know about. Because Igbo Project, in the third or fourth month of Igbo Project, one of my leaders introduced me to Tony Nnadi. And when I met Tony Nnadi, I had several meetings with Tony Nnadi. I read up on his website, lowernigercongress.org. By the way, if you're not familiar with Tony Nnadi, he's one of our brothers. He's doing fantastic work. He's been carrying this struggle for over 20 years. He's done phenomenal work. He's a lawyer. He's an astute guy. He's very clever, very smart. He's focused on the Constitution as the root of our problem. And he has tremendous credibility with that. And we have to give him his props for that. So if you're not familiar with his work, please go check out lowernigercongress.org and also check out ninasvoice.org and ninasvoice.com. I think these are the two websites I know he has. And engage with him and also look him up on Facebook and Twitter. Tony Nnadi. He's a brilliant guy. Really, really brilliant guy. And he's focused on the Constitution as the root of our problem. So when I met Tony Nnadi, he really enlightened me on the issue of the Constitution and how the Constitution frustrates what Alibo Project was trying to do. Alibo Project was designed to make Biafra the Dubai of Biafra. So my vision for Alibo Project was to make Biafra the Dubai of Africa. Okay, that was my vision for Alibo Project, to develop Alibo, infrastructure, jobs, all of that. Why are people going to Lagos? Why are they going to Guausa instead of being at home, instead of developing? Why are our villages empty, desolate? Instead, we are all run to Lagos and we all go to Guausa Midwest. So let's develop Alibo. So the idea of development of Alibo, that was what Alibo Project was for. But when I met Tony Nnadi showed me that it was a lost cause. That without that constitution, there is no way we can develop Alibo. And I saw that. He showed me different aspects of the constitution, and I also read up on the work of our brother, what's his name in the US. I remember his name in the moment. He done a lot of work on the constitution. But principally, Tony Nnadi is one who educated me on the constitution being the root cause of our problems in Alibo and Biafra land. And so because of that, Alibo Project, I basically wound it up. And I began to work with Tony Nnadi. And eventually, due to, little disagreements on method of doing things, we went our separate ways. And ALADINMMA was born out of those differences. So ALADINMMA was born to create dialogue, to bring everybody. We have invited politicians. Rochester Okorocha has been our guest in ALADINMMA, right? Uche Mefo has been our guest in ALADINMMA. Emeka Mekesiri has been our guest in ALADINMMA. Umuada Biafra Worldwide, President Nwada Ndidamaka Egemonu, and Vice President Rosemary Williams, they've been our guests in ALADINMMA. ALADINMMA is exactly what it is in our culture, a meeting place for onye niile, onye ọbụla bịa ka anyị gbaa nzukọ, bịa ka anyị gbaa izu, anyị nwee nzukọ. So ALADINMMA was created for that. But it was in the course of ALADINMMA's work that I now met all these other organizations, all these other persons, and when I began to discuss, and God bless Nemo Abacha, Ucha Ajilokeke, I give her credit, because it was Nemo, former ambassador, who said to us, we cannot have many organizations and expect for governments to speak to us. Governments speak with governments. And unless you're a government, they're not going to talk to you. So it was Nemo Abacha, Madam Ambassador Ucha Ajilokeke, our mother, okay, who's now, praise God, thank God, is now my Secretary of State. It was her advice that we need to form a government, okay? And it was a result of that advice that we began to have meetings over several months. Those meetings now led to the agreement to form a government in exile based in Washington, D.C., and then an election to make sure it is it has credibility. Because appointing ourselves is one thing, but going through an election is another. And we'll have an election, and I emerged from that election. Anybody else could have emerged from that election. And having emerged from that election, naturally, I'm grateful to, it's a responsibility and an honor to serve your people. And that's why I take the job seriously. And I've made the transition from London to Washington, D.C. to serve our people. So thinking that the idea, the conspiracy theory that I created ALADINMMA as a platform to this, that is the conclusion of people who have gaps in their knowledge. Those in the know, in the background, like your good selves, you know exactly how it emerged and all of that. And I'm serving for a tenure. Once my tenure is over, we'll have another election. I might be returned again, or we might, elect somebody else. And if we elect somebody else, I will work with the person and support the person. Our job is Biafra, the freedom of our people, the security of our people, the wealth and protection of our people. So we'll work with everybody. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Mazi Worisa, do you have any question before I go into my next question? Tonight is the night, like I said. Mazi Tony, you are receiving a lot of bombs from us tonight. Over to you.
You pause it there. You pause it there. We want to ask our studio controller if we have any prompt for call, so that we can take message or take call or take question from outsiders. In the absence of that, we can go ahead and ask one or two more questions to Mr. President, so that we can allow him to go, because he has other programs to take care of tonight. So at the studio control, if we have any question in the message inbox, or any prompt for any question, you can let us know before we go further. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The point is that the phones are with you guys. The prompt you guys will see. I'm monitoring the social media, and there is no question. There are just comments, and you guys are on point. Go on, sir. Thank you.
All right. Mazi Amuzie, if you have one other question you ask before I ask my last question, because we're going to wrap it up in the next, let's make it in the next
all right,
10 minutes. I want us to wrap this up exactly 1 hour 30 minutes.
All right. Mr. President, my chairman, insecurity in our labor. How can we liberate our people from military occupation, terrorism, Fulani terrorists all over our bushes, invasion of our land and communities by these terrorists in Igbo land? What are your plans?
Okay, in terms of the insecurity at home, clearly we're very upset about it. But our plans to handle that is to partner, like I said earlier, with government. We'll work with all the organizations at home. We'll work with IPOB. We'll work with Ibozari. We'll work with AVID. We'll work with everybody. We'll also talk to our elders at home. Some of them I cannot name now, but a few credible elders who are pro-Biafran, who have not gone to submit their life to the terrorist Fulani people, Fulani government, who have not gone to take an oath to become slaves to the Fulani people. So there are a few credible elders like that. I'm not going to name them here for security reasons, okay? But we know who they are, and I'm sure you also know who they are, but I'm not going to name them here. So security, first of all, forget the governors. Forget our governors. Don't listen to them. They are all slaves of the Fulani government, okay? Forget them. Do not take your directions from them. Do not take your cues from them. They are really to be cast. They are castaways because they've sold our people, okay? If the even the ones who have not had any military incursions in their territories, through their silence, they have sold our people.
Exactly.
Their refusal to resign, to protest, to speak out against the terrorism going on in Alibo, they are complicit. Totally. Yeah. I talked about Operation Python Dance. I talked about the fighter jets that Buhari used to bomb Olu, to bomb our markets. Okay, so number one, don't listen to the governors. They're all Fulani slaves. They're not working in our best interest, Number two, support IPOB and their security architecture. Okay, support IPOB and their security architecture. And any other organization that have a security architecture support them, work with them. These are the true Biafrans. These are the people who love our people. Support ESN. Okay? These are the true Biafrans. These are people who love our people. Okay? Support them every way. And finally, self-defense. Every village, organize your own security. Every village, every town, organize your own security. Arm yourselves. Equip yourselves. Okay? Do not trust the government. Do not trust the governors. Do not trust any of their aides. That's what you need to do. Other things we're doing behind the scenes, which I cannot say in public here, but trust me, Alibo will never be run over. Alibo will never be taken over. Alibo will never be occupied. We will never, ever, we will never. We will prevail. We will succeed.
That's good. Thank you very much. Over to you, my chief host, Ike.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, President, for all the explanations and clarifications that you have been, giving to, top issues that has been bothering most of our members and most of our, listeners. Feel like, Biafra government in exile, the Republic of Biafra government in exile is creating a parallel government, or is creating a parallel organization against IPOB, and they are working against what Nnamdi Kanu has been suffering. Like he comments in some of our social media handles here, they are saying that people want to reap where they did not sow, and I keep wondering what we are reaping so far when Biafra has not even come. So the truth is that we are working in the same farm. We are working in the same farm. It's just like what Bible called the cooperative evangelism of Barnabas and Paul. But Paul sowed the seed, Barnabas watered it, and the seed grew. That's the important thing. So you have explained very well the chance and the participations of each and all these groups, how they aided what we are doing today, and each of them are so very much important. Like the radicalization and the activism that Nnamdi Kanu created can never be usurped by any other organization. He did that, and he did that activism to make our people wake up and become aware of what is facing us. Some of the predictions that he made are what we are seeing today happening in Biafra land, and he has done that awareness. Nobody will say he didn't tell them, he didn't talk about it. But now there is the aspect that has to do with diplomacy, and diplomacy also has to do with both and international. There is local diplomacy, like you mentioned something about Tony Nadi. Tony Nadi did a great work, marvelous, magnificent work in local diplomacy. He was the one that met most of the communities, most of our people, most of the nationalities locally within the Nigerian geopolitical space to be aware of the, what is, facing them and what needs to be done to be recognized as a nation, how you must, unite and have a kind of memorandum of understanding or charter of relationship before you can be recognized. This is local diplomacy. And Biafra government in exile is championing the international diplomacy as it were now. So I thank you so much for this explanation that you have made tonight. This broadcast is 1 in a million, and our people must appreciate the good effort you have put to come today to clarify most of these burning issues. Video so long so that our people will have the patience to watch it. I will want to invite you to have any word of advice to members of ALADINMMA Global, which
we have a caller.
is... Oh, okay.
We have a caller. Take the call. Yes, Bishop. Good evening.
congratulate on your efforts in the name of Chukwukabiama.
You're welcome.
To the messages and the broadcasts live online, I have just a few questions to ask because I know so many others are waiting online.
Yeah, please, can you introduce yourself properly so that our president can understand who is calling, please?
I am Master Bishop Emmanuel Samuel.
Emmanuel Samuel.
From Nigeria.
Go ahead,
Samuel, yes. Yes, my question goes like this. Please, what strategies and solutions do our president have to bring all groups together in unity? Because looking from the stance of things now, you can understand that there are many diversities. I asked to know the strategies or the system which our president can use to bring all together, because I believe that united we stand and divided we fall. Thank you. This is my simple question.
Thank you very much. I believe, Mr. President, you heard him.
I didn't hear him clearly.
He said, what are the strategies and solutions you have to bring all groups together on this struggle?
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's a good question. It is actually the emergence of this government is a result of our efforts to bring different groups together. Okay, this government emerged from dialogue, meetings upon meetings upon meetings with about 30 different organizations. So, and that's how the government emerged. And so the government continues to work with these groups. Okay, we continue to work with these groups. And without that effort, we would not have emerged as a government. So we continue to work with them on a day-to-day, day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, and continue to and see how we work together and cooperate. For instance, the press release I read to you is going to be issued by a few other organizations. We wrote it and we shared it with them, and they're going to issue the same thing. So that's part of our cooperation. And not only that, we have regular meetings. We have at least once a month we'll have a meeting, and and we'll invite all different government, we'll invite different groups to come to that meeting, different Biafrans. So, and the third thing I would say is that having different groups or different voices in the Igbo space is not a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. What is bad is when they start attacking each other, when they are not cooperating with each other. It is important that you have multiplicity of leaders. For instance, in ALADINMMA, we believe in collegiate leadership. Okay, so there's myself as a chairman, there's Ike Morrison, who's running ALADINMMA now on a day-to-day basis, there's yourself, Martin Amuzi, also, who's co-hosting with him. We're all leaders. Okay, there's also our brother Ifeanyi, who was with us until recently. I'm not sure what's going on with him. So, collegiate leadership. So, having multiplicity of voices in Alibo is not a bad thing. It protects all of us. So, different voices, different ideas is good. What is bad is when they're not working together, when they're not cooperating, or when they're antagonizing each other. That's what's bad. Okay, so, and it's a continual process. There's a common saying, Igbo Nweze. Okay, we're Republican people in our nature. That is who we are. We're not like Fulani people that you can tell everybody. The Imam can come and tell everybody, sit down. Everybody will sit down. Stand up. Everybody will stand up. Stay at home. Everybody stands. We're not like that. You know how we are. We speak our mind. We're Republican. We're not. We're enlightened people. We're sophisticated people. We're civilized people. It's just like England. You come to England or come to America and tell all of them to sit down. They say, why? Tell them to stand. They say, why? America, for instance, has 50 states. Each of those states has their own Supreme Court. Each of those states has their own legislature. That is the mark of a civilized people. And that is, they took all that from Alibo. That is how Ndibo are. That's how Biafrans are. We're civilized people. In a civilized place, it's not just one man telling everybody what to do, what to think, and what not to think, and so on and so forth. No, we multiplicity of voices because there is safety in numbers and safety in voices. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please, before I hand over to Ike, considering the question of Bishop Emmanuel Samuel, Now, this leads me to ask you, Mr. President, what are the challenges you have encountered so far since assuming the office of the President of the Republic of Biafra government in exile?
Oh my goodness.
What are the challenges? What are the...
It's a good question. I mean, one of the main challenges I've encountered is we have some of our people who are overambitious and who do not understand that we are in this thing together. We need to have a reasonable and a sensible, a disciplined approach to governance that will merit the audience of United States government, United Nations, and co. If you're not disciplined, if you're not properly organized, if you haven't emerged through an election, an electoral process, which is documented, if you haven't emerged from that, they're not going to pay attention to you because they don't know you if you're speaking for yourself or speaking for, the people of Biafra. So you have some of our brothers who are overambitious, and then others who think that the work of the government is an opportunity to do business, to make money. Some of them want to set up a vaping center. Another one wants to set up an Nkwobi joint. Another one, they want to set up all kinds of stuff under the guise of government. I said, well, good luck to you. Go and set up your own government and because you really want to set up a Nkwobi joint or a pepper soup joint. That's what you're doing. And then you call it government, and you call it Biafra, call it Biafra House. Good luck to you. That's part of it. So we learned to ignore all of that and focus on the work that we have been called to do. I took an oath of office. I put my hand on the Holy Bible and raised my hand like the American president does every January 24 years when they take the oath of office. I took an oath of office in front of Biafrans, recorded and archived forever. So what we're doing is serious work. We're not playing. We're not doing the pepper soup joint. We're not doing vaping center. We're not doing Nkwobi joint. We're not doing all that kind of stuff. So we've had those kind of stuff. And so what we do is just ignore them and let them carry on doing what they're doing. Eventually, the quality of every man's work will show. Okay? That's what the Bible says in the last days.
Exactly.
You see the wheat and the chaff, and you know which is which. The quality of every man's work will show. So that's part of the challenge I've had of ambitious brothers and people who think they can use the organization or the government as a mask for a business project they want to do. I'm a businessman. I had my property business in London. Business is different from government. If you're going to serve the people, take the oath of office, run for election, take the oath of office, and take an oath of allegiance to our people. Okay? And then do the freaking work. Okay, and be accountable. Part of what I've done in the Republic of Biafra government in exile, I set up an oversight committee. The job of the oversight committee is to supervise the work of the cabinet and supervise even the work of the president. And they have powers to recommend impeachment of the president. Okay? So an oversight committee, of which I'm not a member, have the powers to recommend impeachment of me, sanctioning, penalizing me, or any other member of cabinet. We're creating a government that's going to work for our people. We're not creating an Nkwobi joint or pepper soup joint or vaping center. That's not what we're doing.
We have another call from Bishop Emmanuel once again. I think there's something he really want to hear from you. Bishop, are you there?
My president, I'm sorry and excited to ask my questions.
Can you speak louder, please?
My second question goes like this. What are the challenges as well for making sure and enforcing that our leader, our undiluted leader, is released unconditionally from the issue. And also, if you are online, you can as well understand that there are many sections of fundraising concerning ESM and our security. What conditions or what are the strategies? What are the plans for our president to make sure that all funds are gathered together for the actual purpose, not somebody using our freedom fight as a means of livelihood? Do you get my question?
Mr. President, did you get the question?
No, I didn't hear it clearly.
He is saying that what are the efforts being put in place to grant the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, and secondly, that there are funds being raised online. What are the strategies put in place to make sure that these funds are not siphoned into a different pocket or used for a purpose that was not intended?
Okay, thank you. As for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he's a prayer point for us as a government, and I'm sure for all Biafrans. Number one. Number two, we have issued a press release to the world powers concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release and his innocence. Number three, we have done several broadcasts calling for his release and making his case to the global community. Number four, we're engaged with his lawyers, Barrister Ejimako and Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. We're engaged with his lawyers, on the work they're doing for his release, and they seem to be doing a very good job, including their latest initiative of taking the Foreign Secretary of Britain to court in England. I think they should have done that earlier. They should have taken the matter to the courts in England earlier. The judiciary in England is much more robust than in Nigeria. And also the media in England is much more robust and impartial and independent than Nigeria.
Be audible, sir. Sir, be a bit audible.
I was saying that they should have taken the matter to court in England sooner than they did, but now they have, so we applaud that. The judiciary in England is quite robust and it's quite independent, so that's a good thing. Now, as far as fundraising, the Republic of Biafra government in Exile has not done any fundraising in public. We have not done any fundraising. So far, we have been funded by the cabinet members and by people who have come to us voluntarily to fund what we're doing. Okay? We have not done any fundraising in public whatsoever. We're not involved in any public fundraising at all. The reason is deliberate. We do not want to get involved in all this business of people using the funds of Biafrans for their ends. So we don't want to get involved in all of that. We're clean as a whistle. Our books are clean. We maintain detailed, accurate records. At any point in time, our people can come to our office, make an appointment, come to our office, and we'll show you records of our minutes of our meetings. We'll show you details of our bank statement, our transactions, our accounts. We're very clean. We run a very clean, white as a whistle government. So if anybody is doing fundraising online, to answer the gentleman's question, if anybody is doing fundraising online and you wish to give them money, it is your responsibility to know who you're giving money to. It is your responsibility to know the organization, the entity you're giving money to, and satisfy yourself that they are people of integrity and character before you give them your money. If you give them your money without doing all of that, I don't know who we're going to blame other than you. So if you're going to give money to anybody who's doing fundraising publicly, you check them out and satisfy yourself that they are properly organized. They have what we call TAN, transparency, accountability, no conflict of interest. My government, Republic of Biafra Government Exile, is run based on TAN, transparency, accountability, no conflict of interest. And apart from that, I have major women in the government that are holding our feet to the fire. Who are they? Umuada Biafra worldwide. Those women, I fear them. They don't take prisoners. They don't care who you are, whether you're tall or you're short, whether you're president or servant. Those women, I fear them. Umuada Ndidi Amaka Egemonu and Umuada Rosemary Williams, I fear those women. Amazon. I have seen them reduce great men to nothing. I have seen them hold great women to nothing. They don't fear anybody. I don't want embarrassment and I don't want Umuada treatment. You know what they do? If you start screwing up, they invite you to Umuada platform. And if you don't come, they do a broadcast on you. And then they tell Biafrans all about your shenanigans. I don't want their wahala. So Umuada, Biafra, worldwide, they're involved in the government. I have a lot of respect for them. I fear them. I honor them. I respect them for their integrity, for their honor, for their fearlessness. And that's what we need now, Libo, in Biafra land at this point in time. There's a lot of nonsense going on with no accountability. Umuada Biafra worldwide, they hold you accountable and there's no escaping them. So anybody who is giving money to any organization online, check them out before you give them your money.
Thank you very much. Over to you now, Mazi Olisa.
Thank you so very much. Am I coming out clear?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I'm very, very happy tonight because this program is like one in a million program that will be repeated, oftentimes, because it gave clarifications to so many issues that has been bordering on this self-determination and restoration project. And I want to thank people that are surrounding Mr. President, the President of the Republic of Biafra government exile, especially Nemo Abacha, the Honorable Ambassador herself, Uche Ajulokeke. We want to thank you from the platform of ALADINMMA Global. You are wonderful, awesome. And we believe that with people like you around the Mr. President, we wouldn't make much mistakes because humans are not infallible. So, but with you, with the experience you have, you will be able to guide Mr. President in the right direction as far as the international diplomacy that we're talking about is concerned. And we want also appreciate Umuada Biafra and the women behind the Umuada Biafra, Umuada Rosemary and Umuada Ndidi Amaka. They are awesome. They have given ALADINMMA the opportunity to use their platform tonight to stream this program live. So at this point in time, before I give you a chance to, because I wouldn't want us to drag this program, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want us to drag this program so long that our people will feel bored watching it. So that's why I want everything to be as short as possible so that our people can be able to have the patience to watch. And down there in Biafra land, they are using data to watch. So we want to make it as easy as possible for them to watch. So do you still have any further question before Mr. President give us his parting word? And then you are the one that is going to give the vote of thanks, even though I've started doing it already, before I now pray for the closing prayers.
Are you referring to me or to Umuada?
Yes, I'm referring to you, Mazi Amuzie. Do you still have another question?
Just one question that I've been lingering.
Make sure the question will not drag him so long. Okay, take the question.
It's just based on the ALADINMMA ideology. I want to ask Mr. President, what are the plans to bring Igbo business entrepreneurs, our business moguls, our businessmen all over Nigeria, all over in diaspora, to believe in the ALADINMMA ideology and get united for the progress and peaceful investment in our labor? I know what you have said about what the reference from Tony Nadi, that under this circumstance, it will be difficult to develop an Igbo. But then I still believe that when the Igbos are united, when the businessman with the money bags are united in the ALADINMMA ideology, believing in Igbo, there will be a lot of progress in Igbo. What do you think, sir?
Yes, yes, the Igbo would develop overnight. Igbo, and I dare say not just Igbo, the Midwestern states, the Yoruba people also, they will develop overnight. They will grow overnight. Why? Because of our fundamentals, because of our values. The Yoruba people are great people. We disagreed with them during the war. We had the disagreements and disappointment. But the Yoruba people are great people. They believe in education. They believe in hard work. And just like in Igbo, we have common values. So once we have our nations, the competition between Biafra and the Yoruba nation is going to be intense. And competition brings development. And development brings prosperity. So, Igbo is going to develop, just like Yoruba land is going to develop. But development is predicated on governance, good governance, accountable governance. United States that you see today is not, the economy was not as big as it was when Britain was governing United States. Okay? Even Britain went through a civil war. The economy was not as robust as it is now. So political stability first. Once you have political stability, you're going to have economic growth, prosperity. Because political stability means that the security is taken care of. Human rights are taken care of. Okay? And the means of receiving justice is taken care of. Independent judiciary is taken care of. So we're going to get there. I encourage all our businessmen and women, invest in Igbo, invest in Biafra land. That is your home. That is where you come from. Bring your money home. Things that are difficult, it's not so good right now, but that is when you make the money. In real estate, we say when there's blood on the streets, buy real estate. When there's blood on the streets, buy property. Why? Because the value is down. When the blood is cleaned up and law and order comes back in place, the prices go up. So you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. So now that Igbo is in going through this difficult time, there is money to be made. Now is the time to invest. Now is the time to put your money in Igbo, because Biafra is coming. Biafra is coming. Whether Fulani like it or not, Biafra is coming. Yoruba nation is coming. Midwest nation is coming. We're getting our freedom. It's our inalienable right. It's our right. It's our self-determination right. It is guaranteed by United Nations. Beyond United Nations, it is guaranteed by God. Biafra is coming. Yoruba nation is coming. And so invest in Igbo, invest in Biafra land, and you will not regret it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Ike. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. President. We want to thank you for making our time to be here tonight to talk to our people, especially the members of ALADINMMA who really missed you for quite some time now. So thank you so much for coming. And we want to appreciate your benevolence in assisting the people you handed over ALADINMMA into their hands, the guidance and the encouragement that we sincerely needed to carry on the mantle that you handed over to us. And we want to assure you that as you focus mainly on running the Biafra government in exile to bring our people from this bondage that we find ourselves, from this dungeon that we found ourselves in Nigeria, we that you handed ALADINMMA over will try as much as possible within the limit of our capabilities to make sure that we take ALADINMMA to greater heights. But at the same time, we will also implore you to do not look away from time to time, source guests that will actually impact on the situation that we are facing in Biafra land, for us to bring into our conferences. And as a matter of fact, we are going to design ALADINMMA to really ignite the spirit of our people, that the much needed security that is lacking in our land now will be, really boosted. So I thank you so much for coming, sir. And I want to assure you that we are solidly behind you. ALADINMMA is solidly behind the Biafra government in exile. In any way at all that you want us to be part of what we are doing, do feel free to let us know. We will be there for you. Mazi Amuzie, do you have anything to say before we round up?
Yeah, I want to appreciate our president and our chairman, convener. I really want to appreciate you. You've really highlighted some issues that many have been shying away from. And most importantly, the unity of purpose. The unity of purpose, giving an insight on who did what, which many have failed to acknowledge, and letting people know that, listen, in this whole thing, we are one family. Be you in IPOB, be you in anywhere, we are one family. And in our Igbo, whoever you are, the Igbo cause should be the #1 priority of every Igbo man. Thank you very much, sir. You have really made our day. And we, like my big boss have just said, we are still doing the job. And you have been a source of encouragement to us. And I believe you're still encouraging us. And we are solidly standing behind you anytime, any day. And there's one point we just mentioned here on a lighter mood, the Omada. If you're scared of Omada, then what can we do? We will be more scared of Omada. But we are all working together. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'm grateful. Thank you, gentlemen. You're doing a fantastic
job. The panacea is don't go contrary to what Omada abhor. If you go contrary to what Omada abhor, they will sweep you off your feet. So I want at this point thank Omada Biafra so much. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, for letting us have your platform, and by the special grace of Chukwuka Biama, you will be part of whatever we are doing. Even when we are streaming from ALADINMMA StreamYard, you will also be part of us. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. And to you, ALADINMMA members, we thank you so much for listening tonight. And from Bishop Emmanuel Samuel, who asked some questions, we thank you for being interested and listening tonight. And we also want you to be part of ALADINMMA Global, because we believe that there is a lot that you can do for us. And to you, my brother Amuzie, thank you so much tonight for making this show lively. Returning you back to the studios of the Omada Biafra Worldwide. Thank you so very much, and good night. Good night, Mr. President.
Good night, Mr. President.
Good night, sirs.
Good night. Nwada
Rosemary na nwanne ya Ndidi Amaka ọ na-ehiela ụra.
No, we're here. We're just trying to end the way you guys normally end. Good job, brothers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.